suppress the enemy machine gun positions, as we saw in the First World War, and let your own infantry advance. That was going to be the idea. Now, if you also look, we should have our second engine running in, a BMW car engine in the back there, but really looks at Part 2 MG-13 machine guns, because still at this stage, the idea for many militaries was that the only tank manufacturer in the war period in Britain, they were also selling tanks around the world. Somewhere? Okay, it's hiding behind the mound. There's our light Mark IV. Now, this is a British vehicle made by Vickers. This particular one made in 1935. Britain decided to experiment with a series of
was frightened the life out of the German high command because they realised how vulnerable an advancing Irish column actually was. So again, we have to be careful because so often when we look at that campaign, we see all the German propaganda movies.
It doesn't work. So it's out there at the moment looking sorry for itself. But the Stug is based on the vehicle that's coming on now, the famous German Panzer III. Now, Panzer, as I mentioned earlier, when the Germans start designing a tank, they've already been doing some secret experiments. They've been tying up after the Treaty of Locarno in 1910 in Russia with what was called a light tractor or gross tractor, heavy tractor, all code words for developing tanks. But when Hitler comes to power, that's when they push.
It was even picked up by the Germans at the time. They spent about 10 years putting together, in the 1930s, their Panzer III and Panzer IV. Panzer I and Panzer II were really training tanks for the German military. Panzer III and Panzer IV were what they wanted to go to war with.
Try with that.
bar suspension, so twisted metal bars springing down those wheels and their interleaved wheels to spread the weight of that big heavy tank out across the wide track. And again, the King in Tunis, Churchill crawled all over it. It was brought back to Britain, and amazingly, one of the people that wrote the report on Tiger 131, which we have in the archive, is a man called Peter Gudgeon, who sadly died a few years ago. He was actually knocked out in the battle against this Tiger tank.